What's up, guys? It's Benny. So the alleged Minnesota murderer has been captured. The No Kings Killer, as we call him, because he had No Kings signs in the back of his car. He was a Democrat activist. He worked for and with Tim Walz, and his wife worked for Tim Walz, right? Like, this guy worked with an African refugee program to relocate African migrants to Minnesota. Not MAGA activities, okay? Like, I don't understand what's going on here when it comes to everyone saying he's a Trump supporter. Like, yeah, I'm gonna have to see further evidence. That anyway, the point is that he was captured. Here's the photo of him being captured, and then you see the blurred faces here of the clearly special forces officers who were capturing him. Well, I guess you see a Minnesota logo here on the arm of this individual, but these are like very tactical SWAT teams that look like paramilitary and/or actual intelligence ops teams that captured him. You can see all of the dust and all of the debris. Maybe he was hiding in these fields, in one of these fields. Not sure, but with infrared, you can see here, infrared night sights. And with drone technology, very hard to hide, especially if you're a lumbering, very out of shape guy. Don't worry, we'll get to that in just a second. Because there's too many strange things that are going on here for us to ignore. First off, his wife was ignored. Do you know his wife was stopped yesterday with a vehicle? She had driven 2 hours. She had $50,000 cash, firearms and ammo and passports, and she wasn't detained. Do you know that? What? None of this, as we said yesterday, it's like something's very off here, right? Something's very wrong here. How did this guy, who has a very mysterious background, she worked for Tim Walz, he was appointed by Tim Walz. How's this guy end up? They have 5 kids together, 5 kids. So the motive is he just snapped. Is that going to be it? He killed this individual. She was the Speaker of the House, Melissa Hortman. She had just famously sided with Republicans in order to stop healthcare payments, free healthcare payments for criminal aliens. Something, of course, that Vance was working on. Vance, the alleged shooter. Anyway, it's very strange. Accused Minnesota assassin. His wife was detained, passports and weapons in car, and then they just let her go. Yesterday, we got a funny little hat on the side of the road thing, right? Just random. Just happened to find his hat in a pristine location on the side of the road, just in time for investigators to see it. And then, of course, this. Listen, I'm not saying that I know more than the authorities. I'm saying these two individuals don't look like the same person. That's all I'm saying, right? Like, how did you lose 100 pounds? How did an individual who's this out of shape evade SWAT teams after they fired on the home? They riddled the home with dozens of bullets. Doesn't make any sense. You can see him here walking with a limp. He's walking with a limp. This is after evading SWAT teams. The police had the house surrounded. He was able to escape all of the bullets and then escape out of the house. I'm just saying it's very strange. That's all. I'm just saying it's very odd. And then he just abandons his 5 kids. Sorry, it was Father's Day yesterday. I'm a dad. You don't just abandon your 5 kids. Okay. And anyway, here's a photo of the door. This is the photo of the door. The police riddled this thing. I mean, it was like a cartoon, the number of bullets they shot into the door. Bullet holes there, bullet holes here. And he was able to escape all those bullets. He's big. They say he's 220. He looks more like 250. He's big. The police said, we shot the place up. He was able to escape into the house, and he was able to escape us. After he'd committed murder, the cops just let him go. He's dressed like a cop. He's wearing this creepy-ass Walter White mask. As we've said, I am the one who knocks, right? It's the throwback. So he's LARPing. But now he's been caught, and he's been booked. Here's his official mugshot right here. There you go. This is the official mugshot. He's in the Hennepin County Jail for murder. So there he is. Looks like he had been running, maybe hiding in the grass. What's going on here? He's captured alive after intense manhunt. Let's read. After 2-day manhunt and 2 sleepless nights, law enforcement has apprehended Vance Bulliter. All right. The armed killer was taken into custody without incident in rural wooded area in southwest Minneapolis. authorities announced. Officers from multiple agencies, including SWAT teams, combined combed the area for hours and were assisted by helicopters, infrared cameras, and drones. In the incidents, it was the resident's trail camera he passed in a rural town that tripped him up, according to the Star Tribune. Most of the search was conducted then, but the trail cam picture alerted SWAT teams to go to the area, search perimeter, and help the drones identify the location. Bulleter's capture ended the largest manhunt in state history, which lasted 43 hours and involved 200 officers. He was ultimately arrested when he crawled to the arresting officer and was taken into custody without any force, authorities said. Okay, so he gets into a shootout with police and then he crawls to them. Again, all I'm saying here is it's strange. It's really strange. I'm not saying I have further evidence. At one point, he was tucked up in a fetal position and began to army crawl until he eventually stood up and surrendered. It's like a place called Green Isle. And he started running into the woods. Again, somebody's going to have to explain to me how this guy who's limping, who looks like he could barely go up a flight of stairs, is able to evade all the SWAT teams for 2 straight days. And then he crawled on his hands and knees to surrender after a drone located him in the field. Insane. Okay. I look forward to, more stories about all of this. This is another photo of Vance Bulleter after being apprehended here by authorities. Here's what gets really weird. Okay, so he has this alleged roommate. Now, he doesn't have a roommate. You know what I mean? This is like a college roommate. But this guy who, I don't know about you, but doesn't exactly look like the most authoritative or trustworthy narrator here. This guy who's allegedly a Papa John's delivery guy, he says that he was a Republican and he listened to InfoWars all the time. He wasn't a Democrat. He didn't like Tim Walz. He didn't like Joe Biden, so he doesn't have the names right of these guys. But all right. He listened to InfoWars. Well, again, you're going to have to provide me some proof of this. It all seems, really speculative at this point. But more importantly, if he doesn't like Jim Biden or Jim Walz, why is his wife interning for Tim Walz? Why is his wife working for Tim Walz? Why did he work for Tim Walz? And why was he appointed by Tim Walz? Why was he working in a big-time African refugee resettlement program? Not typical MAGA behavior. I'm not saying it's just none of it adds up. That's all. Why did he kill the centrist Democrat that just sided with Republicans in order to end free healthcare for criminal aliens? All of it's odd, ladies and gentlemen. But here we go. Trail cams got him. And here you can see sort of like the raid as it looked from the road. Okay. This guy was in a fetal position and crawled to give himself up after escaping in a daring shootout from authorities, after leaving pristine clues behind as to where he was, after leaving his 5 kids for absolutely no reason, after losing 100 pounds or gaining 100 pounds. In this Walter White mask, I am the one who knocks. So after committing cold-blooded murders and then escaping the SWAT teams in a hail of bullets and gunfire, like a nimble assassin, he is in a fetal position crying. None of it makes sense. It just doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, here, ladies and gentlemen, are the updates from the authorities. We'll leave it at this. Something dark is happening in Minnesota. Something very strange and evil is happening in Minnesota. I don't know exactly what the full story is here, but it just is odd. Very odd to me. Here's what the authorities are saying. Here you go.
The suspect accused of killing a Minnesota lawmaker and her husband and attempting to kill a state senator and his wife has been captured. Vance Bulleter surrendered to police after they located him in the woods near his home.
Officers also recovering 3 AK-47 rifles belonging to him after searching his car and a list of other public officials' addresses. Officials at this time believe he acted alone. His bail set at $5 million. He is charged with 2 counts of second-degree murder and 2 counts of attempted murder with more charges possible.
Both the FBI, United States Attorney's Office, who are examining whether or not additional charges should be brought at the federal level related to this at this time.
Footage shows a suspect impersonating a police officer as he approaches the victims' homes. He then shot and killed State Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband, Mark.
Suspects also accused of shooting State Senator John Hoffman 9 times, along with his wife, who was shot 8 times.
Senator Hoffman came out of his final surgery and is moving towards recovery. A vet is healing. Now's the time for us to recommit to the core values of this country. And each and every one of us can do it. Talk to a neighbor rather than arguing. Debate an issue. Shake hands. Find common ground.
Officials say the manhunt for Bolter was the largest in Minnesota's history.
Iranian